Good morning. So I eat well even when eating out, but I'm still not losing weight. It's like two steps forward, one step back, time and time again. And the thing with this is that I get it. Like it reminds me of when you have the best intention, you're doing something like the other night. I was traveling on an indirect flight to my brother's wedding in Italy, and I got to Milan where I was for 5-6 hours, and my plan was to have a bit of a nap, chill out a bit. And anyway, I forgot that the departure bit would be shut, so everyone's like asleep on the floor in the arrivals bit, and I thought, I'll just go for a sleep. Get to sleep. Every 2 minutes, I noticed that the security person would come round and just tap you and go and wake you up and go, there's a chair over there. As soon as a chair become free, you had to get off the floor. And they were coming around, tapping. I was like, I finally got to sleep. Tap me. So I sit on the chair, went to sleep again, and I put my foot on the chair, and then they come around again, wake me up. And it's like, will I ever get to sleep? It's constantly I get to sleep and it's woken up, get to sleep, woken up. Now, I finally get in the departure lounge and there's no security around and everyone just is sleeping. And that was nice. But anyway, I finally got my snap in. But with this, what we've got to consider is this is another obstacle, challenge along the way, because and I've been talking about this a lot, but the size of us and the weight of us, the height of us, all contribute to our BMR, our basal metabolic rate, how many calories we burn at rest. Now, the thing with this is if I go out for a meal with someone who's 5-foot woman, say, they're going to need, their requirements for energy are lower than mine. Yet the restaurant, if we order the same things, are going to be the same. They're going to be the same portion size. So already you've got a challenge there that if we both finish our meals for reasons of taste, reasons of that's why we're brought up, reasons why I just like to finish my meal, by default, you're eating more than your requirements and I'm potentially eating not. And likewise, if someone's in their 6-foot guy, 6-foot plus guy or woman. Thing is though, is what we've got to consider here is all these little choices, all these little things add up, like the portion size of cereal, the portion size of crisps, the portion size of fruit, yogurt, all foods is relative, right? So if you're I only have a bowl of porridge breakfast, I know someone else, but then they're taller than us, they're bigger than us. Hey Joanne, hey Joanna, hey Julie, hey Kaz. You've got to consider here that we're up against it already. Are we leaving a bit? No, probably not, maybe, who knows. I'm not saying you can't eat out here, but it's a challenge to consider. And one way around this is, we're not saying don't eat out, there's lots of psychosocial benefits around that, but if we want to get a result, and if we're so caught up with the scales not moving, the fat loss not happening, the inch loss not happening, we have to compromise somewhere. So even if it's across the week, that where in other areas you're I need to make changes and control that in other areas, whether that's drinking on weeknights, really simple swap, because when I drink on weeknights, I tend to snack more. How many calories would that take up? That allows you a bit more caloric space for eating out. It might be that you choose the meals that you eat out, the choices that you make well in advance. So you now know, okay, I'm eating out that day, and I'm going to make these choices on these days where you really go for it. And other days, you're going to make a choice to go, I'm going to be wary of my portion size here. Maybe I apply the 50% rule. I eat 50% of my plate. Then I just consider, am I still hungry? I'm not saying stop eating, finish your meal. I'm saying, I'm just going to pause. Am I still hungry? Am I not? Eat another half of it. Am I still hungry? Am I not? Just be aware of that. Just be aware of how fast you're eating, how many times you're chewing. Can mean that you enjoy the meal more, potentially. Also, you don't feel overly stuffed after. But that's me done because I'm someone who respects the manners and etc. And it's quite interesting because, they also said, I don't want to be rude. If someone offers me a cookie, I'm going to have the cookie or whatever. And it's okay, if I put a napkin on my plate, that signifies the meal's done. Quite interesting. Julie, it's a shame a lot of restaurants don't do smaller portions. Yeah, they could do kids' portions of everything, but just it's quite interesting. Even when we went to Cornwall over the summer, and even they've got the calories now on the menus, and it was interesting. Like even like 1,700 calories in a kid's portion of certain meals. But obviously, kids can be 4 and a kid can be 10, and that's a problem as well, right? But it can also work the opposite. Like my kids get given a massive meal, and it's like, wow, like that's overwhelming for them a bit, and a bit like, it's kind of put me off it. Just pick a bit of that, pick a bit of that. It can work the other way as well. But yeah, like there's a case for smaller portions. But there's also a case for, as hard as it is, and I get it, like when was a wedding the other day, like I said, and when food's put in front of you, it's like, you're just tempted to have it, isn't it? I was just going around the buffet like, oh my, I want some of that. Oh yeah, and that. Or try that, I've got to try that. But yeah, anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that's kind of got us thinking a little bit differently today. Any questions, let me know on this. It's something that we go through in our reboot program at the moment, getting more in control of our food. So we go over our 3F system, so our food, our fitness, our focus. So you've got that accountability that we go through in the initial one-to-one. If you want more information about our reboot from home, Chippenham, Marlborough, advisors, just send me over a message, put a message in the comments, and I'll get back to you soon. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.